28 trillion tons of ice melted. Sea levels have risen by 6 inches. Global temperatures have increased by 1 degree Celsius. All because of the 50 billion tons of carbon we release every year. On the other hand, every day, 5 million bars of soap are wasted by hotels across the world, polluting water and air. Dear viewers, two seemingly unconnected issues, two of the many the world faces today. And yet, is there a way to solve them both with one solution? We, the students of Abudabhi Indian School Branch 1, have such a solution.
Global warming is a constantly deteriorating problem that continues to affect the planet. As mentioned earlier, the consequences just keep coming and the world is now paying the price. The leading cause of all of this is greenhouse emissions, specifically that of carbon dioxide. On the other hand, hotels across the world are filling up landfills with 5 million bars of soap every day. Soaps and detergents are as dangerous as cars and plastic when it comes to air pollution. The colossal amount of wasted soap will pose a huge threat to the planet via their stint in polluting the water and the air. Is there some way to both remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as well as reducing soap waste? Here is where our solution comes in. We aim to aid the SDG goal number 13, climate action, through our solution.
We propose to create a simple yet rather efficient machine that solves both problems. Let me explain this in depth. Soaps generally consist of a base, sodium hydroxide in this case, and animal fats and oils. If we could extract the sodium hydroxide, it can react with carbon dioxide to form sodium carbonate and water. With large enough quantities of sodium hydroxide, we can react with a large amount of carbon dioxide and thus remove a large amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And the solution of sodium carbonate can be stored away. Now, let's look at our prototype and see how it works.
Our prototype is an efficient machine that extracts sodium hydroxide from soap. The machine works on separating sodium hydroxide from soap with the help of calcium carbonate. To do so, the machine has 4 chambers. The first chamber, here we use a shredder to grate the soap into fine pieces. This makes the whole process a lot more efficient. In the second chamber, it is filled with water and is where the grated soap comes in and dissolves with the water. The dissolved soap makes the separation and chemical processes involved in it a lot easier. In the third chamber, here we add carbonic acid. This neutralizes the base and separates the fatty acids. Therefore, we obtain a solution of sodium carbonate with fatty acids and oils floating on the top. This can be later separated using a mesh. Finally, the fourth chamber, here we add calcium hydroxide to convert the sodium carbonate to sodium hydroxide. Sodium, being more reactive than calcium, displaces it, forming sodium hydroxide and calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is not soluble in water and can be separated through mesh to finally obtain sodium hydroxide.
The prototype is targeted at industrial units that tend to produce large amounts of carbon dioxide. There are already systems in place at many of these industries that make use of sodium hydroxide to treat their exhausts. With the implementation of our prototype, we can easily generate huge amounts of sodium hydroxide that can be generated and readily used by industries to aid the global fight against climate change.
Although the concept is quite a complicated one, the prototype itself will not cost above a few figures in US dollars. Considering that the chemicals utilized in the prototype are widely available and relatively cheap to acquire, the only other expense is the metal hardware used to make the chambers and other components.
When many industries have the technology to use sodium hydroxide to treat their residues and emissions, we aspire to create a way to generate more of these chemicals and solve global warming and climate change, while at the same time reducing a whole lot of these moldering excess debris that play a huge role in air pollution. Let us all take a step forward towards fighting climate change and protecting our planet. We hope this video has conveyed its message and inspired many to work towards climate action. Thank you.